Welcome back to sports. There's no doubt that Kennedy Carter is one of the best talents in the WNBA, as she has an electrifying handle and can get to the basket seemingly at will. Her WNBA career started with a flourish, but now some are questioning what and where her future will be in the league. This video is going to look at Kennedy's early development and then transition to her WNBA career and what the future might hold for it. Before we start, I'd like to say I appreciate the recent support for my channel. However, I note with more viewers comes some negative comments regarding women's basketball. I support women's basketball, and please show your support by subscribing to my channel so I can generate more content. All right, let's get on with it. Number 10, the beginning. Kennedy Carter grew up in Fort Worth, Texas. From the age of 5, she knew that she wanted to be a basketball player, sometimes even sleeping with a basketball next to her pillow. Kennedy had 3 brothers, 2 older and 1 younger, but you can be assured that her brothers were not taking it easy on their sister. Kennedy says the drive to compete and wanting to beat her brothers helped her turn into the player that she ultimately became, as her goal from a young age was to get good enough to beat her dad and her 3 brothers. Number 9, AI. Kennedy likes to game, and when she played 2K, she would build a player in the mold of Allen Iverson, with a sweatband on the elbow and a shooting sleeve on the other arm, and sick handles. Carter's love for AI started when she was around 6 or 7, after she watched a video on YouTube of Iverson crossing over Jordan. From that moment on, Carter was in and wanted to be like AI. She especially loved the swagger about him, how he is the best ball handler in the league and played with the I don't give an F mentality, even though he was often the smallest guy on the court. But what she loved most is what he could do with a basketball, and she wanted to have handles just like AI. Number 8, Dad's coaching. Her dad Broderick saw Kennedy's passion for basketball and helped train her. Every day they would work on her game and train outside no matter what. Rain, snow, or even suffocating Texas heat would not stop them from training. Some of her dad's training methods were unorthodox, as he would have her practice without shoes on concrete, which Kennedy says kept her feet and handles right. As well, he would have her practice dribbling with a tennis ball on the grass. Kennedy recalled, at first it was impossible, and the ball would bounce off my palm and go 5 feet the wrong way. I'd get mad. If you can learn to dribble in the grass, my dad would say, imagine what you could do with a basketball.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Her dad was right, as she developed sick handles which allowed her to compete with her brothers and with the neighborhood boys. Her older brothers were bigger than her, but it didn't make a difference as she got good enough to play with them. She was the only girl in the neighborhood pickup games, which were rough, and she knew she had to hold her own if she wanted to continue to play in these games. Being the only girl in tough neighborhood pickup games helped solidify her cocky, take no S attitude game. Number 7, Kennedy dominates middle school and high school. It was clear that Carter was great when she started playing for her middle school and high school teams. However, she gave this quote, I didn't see it in middle school. Of course, I won the middle school championship, and in that game I scored 46 points. In fact, I was actually kind of underrated coming out of high school. I was ranked number 2 at point guard and number 6 overall. Maybe she was modest or truly didn't see how good she was. Or maybe she likes to play with a chip on her shoulder as she seems a bit chapped about being rated the number 2 point guard in the nation.
If you ain't first, you're last.
However, she did receive some recognition as she was on the under-18 USA's women's basketball team that won the gold medal. In addition, she was McDonald's High School All-American, which was deserved as she led her high school team to a 70-4 record during the course of her career. Number 6, going to Texas A&M. Carter decided to go to A&M as it was close to home. However, her love with the program started in 2011 at the age of 13 when she watched the Aggies women's basketball team on TV. The team featuring Sydney Colson went on to win the national championship, and that was enough to lock her in. The clincher was A&M coach Gary Blair, who she met at an AAU camp. Blair made it clear that he was not going to change her game or try to rein her in. Carter burst on the scene her freshman year in 2017, averaging 27 points per game and set an Aggie single-game scoring record with 46 points against USC. Then she hit national prominence with a game-winning three-pointer against DePaul with a sick between-the-legs pull-up three-pointer which sent the Aggies into the Sweet 16. In her third year at Texas A&M, Carter led the Aggies back to the Sweet 16 with an incredible scoring run of 27, 30, and 35 points. During the season, Carter demonstrated she could play with the pros as she went for 34 points in the Aggies exhibition game versus the women's national team. Number 5, going pro. So it was no surprise when she declared for the WNBA draft after her third season in 2020. Carter was the number 4 draft pick by the Atlanta Dream. Carter had faced criticism during her college career for being too ball dominant, and others did not like her demeanor on the court. She was often described on social media by her detractors as being a cocky ball hog. However, Carter flourished in her first season at Atlanta as she averaged 17 points and 3 assists per game on 47% shooting from the field and 37% from the three-point line. She earned WNBA All-Rookie Team as she was a unanimous selection, receiving the maximum 11 votes from the 11 WNBA head coaches. Number 4, sophomore slump. Big things were expected of Kennedy in her second year, but the wheels fell off. In the offseason, she was supposed to play overseas in Turkey, but she left the team after just 3 games in October 2022. It was speculated on social media that she had issues with the coach. As the Atlanta Dream prepared for the start of the season, many wondered how they would go sharing the ball around their crowded backcourt. They had Tiffany Hayes coming back, and they had selected Ari McDonald with the number 3 overall pick to join a unit that already included Carter and Courtney Williams. To cause further complications, their coach, Nikki Collin, departed for Baylor 11 days before the start of the season. Carter then injured her right elbow in late May 2021, which hindered her outside shot. After that, Carter then got in an altercation with teammate Courtney Williams, who thought Carter was pouting about being removed early from a game. Williams implored Carter to get more engaged and cheer for her teammates from the bench. An argument ensued between the two teammates, and Carter did not re-enter the game and stayed in the locker room at halftime. Following the game, head coach Mike Peterson said Carter's absence is something we're dealing with, and that's all I can say. She was then suspended from the team due to conduct detrimental to the team and did not play again for Atlanta. Number 3, Hollywood. Now, Carter's nickname is Hollywood. You would think that came about as she was into Showtime and partying, but no, Kennedy says she was given the name as everyone knew she was focused on basketball and was doing her own thing. It wound up being the perfect nickname as lo and behold she was traded from Atlanta to LA, so Wood went to Hollywood. Number 2, traded to LA and the fresh start. The Dream decided to clean house, and they traded Kennedy Carter on February 2022 to the Los Angeles Sparks. In exchange, Atlanta got guard Erica Wheeler, a 2022 second-round draft pick, and a 2023 first-round draft pick. Carter was excited about the trade, saying of her new team, the Sparks, "I know they'll do everything possible to make me a superstar," Carter said, "to make me the best player I can be defensively, offensively, so those are the things I'm focused on. I'm focused on LA, and that's all I can say." Carter was also excited about being in Los Angeles, which would allow her to raise her profile and her personal brand, saying, "I'm going to a way bigger city with a bigger opportunity for me to market my brand as Hollywood." Carter said, "It's a different vibe. It's really unexplainable how excited I am and how happy I was when I heard the news. I'm a special player, and I think I'm a little bit misunderstood. I think maybe my demeanor, the way I play on the court, sometimes I'm very emotional. You really have to take time to get to know me and have a conversation with me off the court to understand me. I think this will be a process which will help the whole entire world understand me. The real Kennedy Carter." Number 1, where to now? Now, Carter likes scary movies, and 2022 Spark Season was the sequel to the Atlanta horror movie. However, in the sequel, it was Liz Cambage who did not finish the season, not Carter. However, Carter was involved in the drama throughout the season. Derek Fisher was fired early in the season as the Sparks struggled. Fred Williams took over as coach, but the drama continued as Liz Cambage left by mutual agreement with the Sparks after the team sustained their 4th straight loss to the Aces. During that game, Carter and Cambage were clearly upset with each other. Then Carter went missing for several games in a row at the end of the season, with interim coach Fred Williams saying it was a coaching decision. Some were concerned when Carter posted a message on social media regarding mental health and outlining the 5 signs of depression. Then, after a long meeting between coach and player, Williams had a change of heart and Carter was allowed to play in the final 2 games. Despite all the drama, Brittany Sykes came to Carter's defense, saying at least she continued to show up and play and didn't just quit. When asked, Carter declined to say what transpired in her discussions with Williams. However, the Sparks have confirmed that Williams will not return as head coach. Whoever takes over as Sparks GM and coach will obviously have a big impact on Carter's future. Some have speculated, me, that the Sparks might try to trade for Diggins Smith, who is unhappy in Phoenix. However, as much as the Sparks gave up for Carter, it's hard to see LA giving up on her after just one season, unless the new regime in LA decides to clean house or a major rebuild of the Sparks is required. Overall, it's clear that Carter is an electric player with a fantastic handle and can take players off the dribble at will. But after 2 disappointing seasons, the question is Carter a victim of 2 bad team situations? Can she play with other talented players without dominating the ball? Or will she be that player, much like her idol, Allen Iverson, who's only able to be successful with the ball in her hands and getting big numbers on teams that aren't a threat to win the championship? What do you think? Should the Sparks double down on Carter next season? Or should they try to trade for Diggins Smith? Or should they blow it all up totally and rebuild like Atlanta and Indiana? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel.